Hey everybody out there, this is a video response to Raphael AKA's I Bring the Lulz video about thanking people within the Brony community, and that is what this is. I encourage you, as soon as you finish watching this video, that you would go and do the same. So I have a list here of the people that I want to thank, and I'll get right down to it. First and foremost, I would like to thank everybody within the community for contributing whatever it is that you contribute. I'm a professor by trade, and I have been studying fandom communities for a while, and reading stuff like this has kind of given me the sense of what a fandom could be like, but you guys are breaking the mold, and I find it fascinating because most groups aren't going to go out and do community service and help their fellow pony, if you will, do things, and I find that so refreshing within this community. So thank you from the bottom of my heart with that one. Number two, and this has always been a soft spot with me, and that is our fellow bronies who are serving in our military, whether home or abroad. You guys are fighting the good fight, even if you don't agree with the orders that you're given. I myself am a veteran, so I understand completely. I'm glad to see that one war is finally over, and I hope to see a quick end to this one in Afghanistan. So keep doing what you're doing, and you know, from the bottom of my heart, that always touches me with veterans. So now I'm going to break it down to the specific ponies that I'd like to thank, and I got to break it down by categories, and that first category is music. First and foremost, and this one's from Pony Square, Vinyl Scratch / DJ Pone 3, the podcaster of Scratch's Cure for the Itch. I didn't think I was ever going to get back into electronic music, but Vinyl Scratch has done it. Anytime he does a podcast, it's amazing. I've downloaded a number of them, and I keep them in my car, and it helps me on my long drives whenever I have to go home, which is usually about a 4-hour trip. So he's doing amazing work, and I highly suggest that you support him. Number two, and this one, I love this person's work so much. Piercing Sight, I can never say his name, / Dane Graphics, does an amazing job with piano. It's been a long time since I've heard good piano music outside of classical, so I'd love to thank you for all the work that you've done. Probably one of my favorite pony musicians, and that is Omnipony, or Official Omnivore, if you will. Probably made one of the greatest, my favorite song that's fan-made for My Little Pony, and that is Equestria in Gray. It's a fantastic piece, and I loved it tremendously. I'd also like to thank Pinkie Pie Swear for the work that they do, or he does, and DJ Exodus does a fantastic job as well. The next group is the video artists that I highly recommend and enjoy myself. First is The Linker, does amazing work. I don't understand how anybody hasn't seen the Cutie Mark Chronicles trailer. That is phenomenal. Why that thing is only sitting at 4,000 views, I'll never know. That should be like up there with Pony Anthology, like 1 million. It is fantastic. I don't think you can top it. And if you don't like get teary-eyed or anything watching that video, you might not have a soul. The Linker does excellent work. A second one, and this one's just relatively brand new to me, is Katsuhono. Did an amazing crossover video with ponies and Gundam and stop motion, so it's in real life, and it's really good. So if you haven't seen that, I highly recommend that you go see that. Thank you for that work. It is tremendous. But most importantly, and this guy has been helping me a lot, Navy Brony, he does ponies in real life, and his work is phenomenal. I recommend finding him, subscribing to him, commenting, tell him he's doing a great job, because I think he's doing a great job. But that's it for the musicians and the artists. I have two left, and these are two ponies that I have a sweet spot in my heart for. They're on Pony Square, and they are Rake and Little Leaf. Rake, I'll go deal with first. Rake is an amazing young man. He is incredibly intelligent for his age, and I'm not one for role-playing, but the way that Rake does it impresses me a lot. Rake is the, I guess you could say, leader of the Communist Party of Equestria. It is a role that he plays, and I'm assuming he thoroughly enjoys. And what he does is that he likes to incorporate Marxist and communist philosophy into dealing with the corruption of Equestria, and I find that fascinating, and I have a lot of intellectual talks with him, and for someone for being so young, it's so nice to see, because even though I teach college, sometimes you miss out on that, because I'm teaching students, but sometimes your students aren't nearly as responsive as you'd like them to be. So when I get time to chat with Rake, it's always an incredible time. And Rake, if you're watching this, I have 2 books that I highly recommend that you get a hold of, and that'll really help out with your role playing. First is The Revolt of the Masses by Jose Ortega y Gasset. Fantastic book. This is Spanish communism, not normally what you're used to, but is a fantastic read. And one that I highly recommend is Louis Althusser's On Ideology, in particular, and I know you can find it on that website that I gave you earlier in a conversation that we had, The Ideological State Apparatus. You need to really read that. It is fantastic, and don't worry about it. Both these books are highly accessible. They're well accepted concepts within the theory, and you're going to enjoy reading them. Now the other one is Little Leaf. Little Leaf is one of the brightest young ladies I've ever met. I don't know when or how it happens, but every time that we chat, it gets deeply philosophical. The other night we were talking about goodness, and if it's learned or it's inherent, and we were discussing that. It's something that I thoroughly enjoy. Just like with Rake, I enjoy having these deeper conversations with people, and that's something that is just so amazing that I see within this community in and of itself, and she does a fantastic job. I can't applaud her enough for her work that she does, whether it's her blogs or just being friendly. That's what she does best. She's an amazingly friendly person, and she has a very good heart, and I'm astounded. But yes, she's also one of the brightest young people I've come to know, and I'm thankful for meeting her in this community. But like I said, this was all for the community, and I thank everyone within this community. It's fantastic the work that you do. I encourage you to keep doing it. Doing whatever you can to support this show and to keep it going is phenomenal. So with that being said, I'm not much for sentimentality. I hate it for the most part. I'm a lot like House. I don't even know how this happened, but now I gotta get back to being a grump. But before I do that, this calls for a party. Nah, it doesn't call for a party. But I will say this, it does call for dancing. I'm gonna do that instead.